Miss Ivy demanded that Brayden gather his things, and she was taking him.
What on earth made you think that what you just told was in your children's best interest?
Your Honor, Amy Powers for the state of Washington. We haven't entered a notice of appearance, but the guardian just started receiving TANF with the kids, so that's why I'm present.
All right, thank you. Have a seat. All right. And Miss Smith, I think I want to start with you. If you'll step up here, please. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth in this proceeding?
I do.
And would you state your name, please?
Mallory Smith.
How long ago were you appointed in this case?
I believe I was appointed in April of 23.
All right. What is going on?
Your Honor, this matter came to the court on a petition from Miss Yozanovich. The children have known Miss Yozanovich since approximately July of 2022, but was voluntarily placed in her care in around approximately December of 2022. Both mother and father have a history of substance abuse challenges. Father has a significant history of domestic violence, and I would like for the court to understand that father has been present at some hearings, but has never participated or filed any responsive paperwork. I've reached out to father a couple times and had no response from him.
Okay.
At this juncture, we're at a place where mother has participated in inpatient care, and I believe it's my understanding that she's participating in therapeutic courts to resolve some other matters and to pursue and maintain sobriety. In my conversations with the children, it was shared a prior history of observing substance abuse by mother and father and being involved in very high conflict situations as a result of the substance abuse and the lifestyle that produces. The children have come to rely on Miss Yozanovich for the stability and consistency that they've been receiving. I've done a home visit. The children all have their own beds. It's clean, void of any safety concerns. They're engaged in schooling appropriately. They've been able to connect and maintain peer relationships. They do desire to continue to maintain a relationship with mother. However, they have a strong feeling that there just needs to be a significant amount of time where mom can maintain sobriety before they would entertain or desire to entertain overnights or extended time with mom. But they do value being able to see mom with regularity. The children are doing well. They're enrolled in Lexington Elementary. By all reports, they are doing as they should be.
And what has happened in the last couple of weeks?
So from my understanding, the last hearing that we had, it was scheduled, or it was indicated that we needed to schedule this for trial assignment, and no additional filings had been provided by any of the parties. So with that, it was assumed that maybe this matter had no longer had validity, or that there was authority that maybe didn't exist. It's my understanding that mother had came in and taken the youngest child and had him in her care and with the intent of getting the other two children in her care as well. I don't have any data other than the criminal history searches and those types of things to indicate that anything significant has changed for mother to warrant her gaining care and custody of the children is appropriate at this time.
All right. You have any questions you wish to ask of this witness?
No, I don't think so. No.
Do you have any questions you wish to ask?
I do not, but I do have a piece of paper for you, and I wanted to apologize for how I acted towards you.
That's a good place to start. You should know a heck of a lot better.
Yes, I should. So sorry about
All
that.
right, we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Your
Okay.
Honor, if I may, I did file a motion in order to appoint counsel depending on the outcome of this hearing. I think I spoke with Ms. Winkles during the last hearing. She had reached out to me and said, hey, my books are closed, but I'm happy to take this one on because of the complexity. So I did file that. If you don't have that in your records, I'm more than happy to provide that after the hearing for entry. But I just wanted to make the court aware of that.
Thank you.
Okay.
And have you had any contact with the youngest recently? Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my brain around all this. No, I don't think so. You'll raise your right hand. Right hand.
Oh, sorry,
You swear to tell the truth in this proceeding.
I do.
You seated and state your name, please.
Miss Yozanovich.
Okay, so tell me about what's been going on since the 8th. Or what happened on the 8th and since.
So on the 8th, Miss Ivy came in through my open garage door, tapped on the door, proceeded to come in. Demanded that Braden gather his things, and she was taking him. She said that she had spoken with persons of authority that said that she is the legal guardian. She gave me a Post-it note with the sheriff's number. I called that. Of course, this was a Sunday. I tried dialing that, just was getting voicemail. So I attempted to call 911, but because we kind of live out in the country, unfortunately wasn't able to get anybody to respond well after 30 minutes of her leaving. She
And
left.
Braden's home?
Braden is now 6. His birthday just passed on the 15th.
All right.
I honestly, I was a little shocked and just really taken by the whole thing. She proceeded to tell me while she was in my home that she had spoken with David McCoy, who's their father, who has signed the consent. He signed it back, I think, in May 29th, I believe, who I have maintained contact with. However, at the time he was in jail, he is trying to clean up his record, and he has been actively, he does show up for his visits, basically.
How often?
He comes about twice a month, doesn't necessarily not on the dates that I had put in the paperwork originally, but we work it out. She had told me that she had been in contact with David and that David agreed with this. That was not the truth. I spoke with David the day after when he got out of jail, and that was not the case. He did not know, and then he was actually served with paperwork while he was in jail. She
And
also
what's
told,
going on since the 8th?
since the 8th, she pulled him from Lexington, which, as you recall, last Thursday, you told her to bring him back to Lexington. Now, I do understand it was not her fault that he's not at Lexington. He's enrolled at Columbia Heights, but that's because Lexington did deny the request because she doesn't live in that district. So she did, by all accounts, make attempts to get him enrolled as per your order, but they denied the request. So at this point, I am the fact that he probably should stay at Columbia Heights for the rest of the year. I don't want to yank him back and forth. If he is granted, to come home today, I would transport him to and from Columbia Heights Elementary.
And do you know anything about her living situation at all?
I do not. I have been unable to obtain her address. She's given in her paperwork her grandmother's address, which was unservable. Her grandmother does not want to be served there. She does not want paperwork brought to her home. So Miss Ivy was served via email for this hearing.
And has there been any contact between Braden and his siblings?
No, they Mackenzie reached out, Miss Ivy on Braden's birthday, and her response was a picture of her and Braden together. But no, we have not had any contact, and the children are extraordinarily upset about it. Mackenzie cries most days.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Step down.
Sir.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth in this proceeding?
Yes, I do.
Sit down. State your name.
My name is Tessa Ivy.
What do you want to tell me?
Well, they do talk over Snapchat, Mackenzie and Braden. He hasn't talked with Colton at all, but we make sure and tell them that they love them and stuff.
How long have you been in drug court?
A couple months, Your Honor.
How much clean time have you got?
I will have 7 months on the 27th.
7 months clean. What on earth made you think that what you just pulled was in your children's best interest?
Your Honor, they do need their mother around. A lot of the visits that we were trying to work out would get canceled, and
I need you to answer my question. You walked into the house without notice, jerked one kid and left 2 kids there. I want you to explain to me why you think that was a good adult sober thing to do.
So, Your Honor, I didn't just jerk him. I had asked prior and told her prior, because I was trying to get into the Phoenix house at the time, but I'm in a sober Oxford house, women, children, Oxford house. And Braden did say he wanted to be with me. So
Okay, he's sick, so he doesn't make that choice. I'm asking you the same question. What made you think that walking in and grabbing one of your children and leaving two was a good, intelligent, sober decision?
I had talked to several people and I would love my kids back in my life. The other two weren't
Whenever you get
present.
around to answering my question, you let me know.
I'm working on being the best mom I could be, and I really want my children back in my life.
You get the impression that I'm not impressed with how you're going about it.
Yes, I'm doing the best I can.
Which ox,
I'm in the Dragonfly house
how long you been there?
since June.
What else do you want to tell me? Can't hear you.
He would like to spend the weekend with Kendra and the kids. Like, I'm not trying to keep anyone from him or anything like that. I've been really cooperative, and I'm not trying to yank the kids away from each other. I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just sticking up for myself, Your Honor, and my kids.
Anything else you want to tell me?
I am in the process of starting a parenting class with Youth and Family Link. I'm just trying to take my life back and get on the right track, Your Honor. And my children are very important to me.
All right, go have a seat.
You want this?
What is it?
It is the letter from my
Whom?
Lexington.
Okay, no, that, it sounds like you did what I told you to, so I'm okay with that. Ma'am, I'm really at kind of a loss. Okay, thank God you are in drug court. You have all my appreciation and support for doing that. It's tough what you're trying to accomplish. A lot of people don't make it. I always am very, very impressed and proud of the ones who do. So don't let anything interfere with that. Don't let anything interfere with reestablishing your relations with your children. That includes your own stupid decisions. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I don't want your children bounced back and forth.
Me neither, Your Honor.
And unfortunately, the way you went about this was about the worst way you possibly could. You didn't walk in and punch somebody. I'll give you credit for that. But beyond that, do you understand the trauma that you caused to all three of your kids?
Believe me, Your Honor, yes, I do.
Okay.
But I'm also trying to make amends and,
No, don't give me a but. I want to make sure that we're on the same page. You understand that what you did, it was traumatic for all three of your kids.
yes, Your Honor.
Okay. From your standpoint, is there anything that the petitioner's doing that you think is underhanded, inappropriate? Does she have your kids' best interest at heart?
I appreciate the time that she's had and was able to take care of them when I was acting out and being irresponsible. Yes, but there's also things that I don't approve of that she does.
Okay.
'Cause I'm sober and clean and stuff, and I met her just shortly before my addiction, and I met her and we drink together and everything else. She has pot plants there. She drinks around my children.
And
She
so,
takes
you
pills.
placed the kids with her in December, is that right?
My mom did, yeah.
Okay.
And I do appreciate the time when I wasn't okay.
Ms. Farr, I'm looking for help here. On the one hand, obviously, the way she went about grabbing one child was completely inappropriate, didn't show any appreciation for the damage she's doing to her kids. And the next question is what's causing more damage? If I leave things as they are, or if we have the kid up sticks again?
Respectfully, Your Honor, I would maintain that having all three children under the same house would be in the best interest of the children. Those children are very bonded to each other for a plethora of reasons. I think that Miss Yozanovich has done an exceptional job of respecting the parent-child relationship and protecting the children across the board. I think that you would find that Miss Yozanovich would be more than happy to appeal and to abide by any order or ruling that you made to maintain and protect the parent-child relationship and support the children moving forward in a healthy and safe manner. I believe that all three children had good quality relationships in their school and their education. They got good interactions. Mr. Yozanovich has made it available for fathers to maintain a relationship with the children despite his continuing substance abuse. He shows up when he's doing okay. The kids have good interactions with that. they're still safe. He agrees with those things. Education, mental health, all of those things will be supported in Miss Yozanovich's care. And I believe that Miss Ivy will have a potential for a continuing and hopefully improving relationship with the children.
Ma'am, prior to October 8th, what kind of visitation schedule did you have?
So we were going on what I had originally requested, which is, so Miss Ivy was every other, I think it was Saturday, the first and the third, I think it was, I don't have it in front of me. And then Dad was the opposite on Sundays. I did at one point ask her, once they started football and cross country this year, Mackenzie and Colton, if she could switch days from Saturdays to Sundays, just because sometimes they have practices and meets.
Let me ask another question. Based on what I'm seeing from the kids, will they visit with their mother at this point?
They don't want to go to her home. I've welcomed both parents into my home. And it was, stipulated supervised visitation. I don't hover over them. They have free reign to my house. They can go outside. I mean, I've got 2 acres, so they do whatever they want, just not leave with the kids. And
knowing the Oxford House situation, it would probably be an excellent place for contact. Do you think the kids would go along with what they're told?
I think that they would. Mackenzie right now is very angry with her mom for taking Braden. And, keep in mind, Mackenzie has sort of raised Braden when mom wasn't around and when dad wasn't around. So there's definitely a bond between those two that's unbreakable. So she's very angry. But I think that if I talk to her and make her realize that, these are steps toward repairing the relationship, I think she would be open to it.
What's the Oxford House rules about visitation with your kids?
They could stay for 2 weeks.
Ma'am, you're very soft-spoken and I'm old and I have bad hearing.
Sorry, they could stay for up to 2 weeks or live with me, Your Honor. I had talked to my older 2 before about staying the night on the weekends, and they were up to that. They were okay with that.
Okay.
They just didn't want to, my older 2 didn't want to jump right back into me, and I understand that. So I'm not trying to push or nothing like that.
Okay. I tried to be very hard on you at the start of this and make you understand how unhappy I am. You understand why?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I know I messed up.
Now, having said that, you've got what appears to be a phenomenal resource here to help you. I know you've got a phenomenal resource in the Oxford House. I've yet to see an Oxford House that didn't impress that economy. The goal ultimately is that you've got all 3 of your kids back living with you in a, I won't say a normal life, but in a good, loving life that you want, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it doesn't happen overnight. All the same, I don't want to call them slogans because that sounds like I'm demeaning, but all those same things that you're getting taught in treatment and through the drug court program apply very much so to your situation with your kids. So what I am going to do and what I want to do is try and set this up so that you and your kids have the best chance of establishing that relationship and establishing it as soon as possible. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So now, having said all that, understand, I hope that what I'm doing is, number one, in your kid's best interest. And your interests are completely secondary to that.
Yes.
Number 2, I hope what I'm doing is in your best interest as well. And I think it is. So what I'm going to order is that Miss Yozanovich has guardianship over all 3 kids, including Braden. The kids stay with her. Okay. We need to set up a pretty liberal visitation plan to include some overnights at the Oxford House. And again, explain to the kids what that situation is. It's the best possible place for her and to improve that relationship.
Okay.
But I'm not going to order overnights immediately because I don't want to put the older kids in a position where they're uncomfortable or even worse, resentful.
I understand.
And obviously you got a little repair work to do with them over the situation with Braden. I understand your desire to fix everything now, but we've got to do it in a manner that's going to be in everybody's best interest. How regular is their father at visiting?
Well, he was just in jail for 45 days, so I can't say that it's regular, Your Honor.
Okay.
It's hit or miss sometimes with him.
I guess what I'll say is that given his situation, his contact with children is completely secondary to her contact with children.
Okay,
You understand?
got it. Yep, absolutely.
Ms. Farr, can I put the bulk of the burden on you?
Or
Not monitor the visitation, but to make sure that the kids it's going well for them and that there's no reason to backpedal. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you want to take the burden of expanding this as things go well or not if they don't go well? And that puts a lot on you. And if you don't do what's asked, maybe there's going to be some conflict.
I'm 100% committed to these kids and to seeing Tesla get or maintain her sobriety and a healthy relationship with these kids. I do 100% support that.
Okay, so I've got two options. Option A is I can set up some kind of a schedule now. I'm not there, so I don't know what's. And whatever I set up now, if I do my best, is probably not. So it's not going to be, I'll be doing it with a very blunt instrument and not able to see how the kids are doing and make those changes on a weekly basis. So if I leave it to the two of you with Ms. Farr available as the arbiter, if there are problems, are you comfortable with that?
Yes, Your Honor, it's just she's canceled a lot on the visits that I have, so I would appreciate somebody else being there to help. Yeah.
Well,
One time, Your Honor, I've canceled.
okay, hang on.
There's a free co-parenting app that we can set up. It's called App Close. I'm able to be added to the group and be able to monitor and interject. If we could use that as the means of communication, then we're all saying the same thing in the same place. And any of that could be used, it can be printed out if you needed to use it for the judge's review along the way. It doesn't cost any money for any of us to participate in it. I'm happy to follow up with an email to you guys for the app and kind of set some ground rules in that regard.
Okay, and if everything goes sideways, you can get it back in front of me in pretty short order, but I kind of suspect it's not going to. The people in the Oxford are very helpful. This is obviously something you want to talk with your counselors about, both in terms of how you're feeling about it and how to proceed. And, if you want to go tell them, you idiot, you hate me, that's great. Just, make sure that you're telling them where you're at.
I have weekly counseling appointments and all that, and I'm very open about like what I've done and where I'm at today. So
And it may be,
I understand.
it may be that you want some, professional third parties involved with your contact with the two older kids. Everybody's going to have to keep an eye on them and see how they're reacting to it.
My mom would like more visitation with the kids also. So like, I don't know, I'd like my mom to be part of that too.
I am a grandparent, so I understand how much grandparents want to see their grandkids. And I know it's important. It's secondary to you reestablishing your relationship. Understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm really kind of kicking the can down the road from my standpoint. And I think that's the best thing to do. Do a better job than me. Everybody be quiet unless I'm calling your case, please. But it sounds like that's going to be the best way for this to work. Talk to Ms. Farr before you leave, sign up for the app. Everybody knows how to get back in court if we need to. Have a long talk with Braden. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much. And we're going to see a lot more of each other. But you're going to go stay with your siblings for now and then go ahead and cry your eyes out tonight and move on tomorrow. Understood? Okay. Any questions?
Only about when Braden, I couldn't hear you, when Braden will come back.
Let's do it over the weekend. Have him go to school at Lexington tomorrow.
Yeah.
Columbia Heights.
Or I'm sorry, Columbia Heights.
So we're going to keep him at Columbia, right? I'm committed to that. Or should we move him back to Lexington?
Well, I'm not sure what the school will let you do.
The school is going to want, if he's living with me, the school is going to want him to go to Lexington. However, if you feel and everybody wants them to stay at Columbia, I will do the drive. It'll be inconvenient, but I'll do the drive to keep them at Columbia. We don't live in that district,
Mhm.
so that was the thing with,
Yeah, again, I'm kind of in the position where I think it's smartest for me to leave that to you guys. You know, if he's doing really well at Columbia Heights, I don't want to interfere with that.
Right.
If that was a problem, maybe we need to, or, if this is if the school's at over the Christmas break, or I don't know. But as much as I feel like I'm kind of shirking my responsibility today, it will be better if you guys can make those decisions than if I do.
He is doing real at Columbia Heights.
Make sure she's on, and Ms. Farr, make sure both are on the list of people who can talk to the school.
Miss Barr, you said?
Yeah.
I thought it was Miss Smith, sorry.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah, so, yeah, make sure everybody's on the list.
okay.
And same at Lexington, make sure that their mother can contact the school, find out everything.
the two older ones are actually at Huntington, but.
Or, okay,
I get what
Huntington.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah.
And okay,
All right. So any questions?
what day would you like me to take Braden there?
I think probably Friday after school when all the kids are around might be a real good time for everybody
Okay.
to say, hey,
Okay,
that makes sense.
Okay.
yes,
Okay. And I assume the older ones will be looking kindly on you when you bring Braden back. So that might make it work better. All right.
thank you,
Thank you all. Keep up the good work, please. Just
thank you.
sudden decisions are often not the best ones. Right? Well, I have an idea for that. So we need the full guardianship order presented. I'm going to put this on for next week to do two things. One, so you need to prepare that order, submit it to the clerk's office so I can sign it. Two, if there are any problems at all, I want an update. Three, if everything's going great, I'd appreciate an update, but I don't need to have one.
I do believe there's an order on file already ready for you to sign from back in the original motion when Commissioner Nelson was presiding over it.
I checked before I got in here today and I didn't see it.
It should be dated for April, sometime last April.
I'm not,
I do have a copy of it. Yeah, if I could grab it, it's in my briefcase
okay. Well, I want it next week because I want to
next week. So just
Yeah.
have it ready next.
I want to
week.
make sure everything goes well, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you all. Very much appreciated.
What, I'm sorry, what day
time?
next week?
The next 10:30, same time.
What day?
That
Thursday?
is the second, I believe,
Second at 10.
Thursday, the second, 10:30.
In person again?
Or on Zoom.
Well, I'll have to be in person because I have to. bring-
Normally Zoom, but if you're here, I'd love to hear from you.
Could I by chance get that wrote down?
I'm sorry,
Could I by chance get that wrote down?
sure,
Thank you. I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you.
So I will be up Friday at 5 o'clock.
And stop by the drug court office, tell them what's going down. Tell them I told them to put you down for a gold star.
Thank you.
All right, good luck.
That's the only reason why I changed.
I'm
the
gonna
school.
say this one more time. If
I
the
do understand.
child's not at Lexington Elementary tomorrow, I'm issuing a warrant for your arrest. Is that clear to you?
I said I understand what you said.
Is that clear to you?
Yes.